Hello, and welcome to this week's Giant Sword Podcast. I'm your party leader, Nick Lynn. To my side are my noble and hairy are Tired Maddie.
Hi, I took a nap today. I'm not that tired anymore.
And Awake Taylor.
Yeah, I slept most of today.
Yep.
That's what your job's doing to you.
Yeah, well, I'm sort of catching up because the previous night I didn't sleep much, and sometimes I'll take a nap at work on my lunch break, but I didn't take a nap, so just me catching up.
What's that phrase? Just take a nap on my lunch break at like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, that lunch
on
break.
your lunch break.
Your lunch break.
Yeah, quote unquote. Yeah, we've got these little nap rooms. Well, they're like I don't know what they are. They're offices with chairs, and you just pull 2 chairs together and just sleep on them. So it's fun.
It's fun.
That must be fun, yeah.
It's hard because I keep waking up at 9:30 and I can't go back to sleep. It's really annoying because I went to bed like at 2:30 last night. I was like, I want to sleep in, but my body won't let me.
I went to bed at 2:30 last night and woke up at 7.
I know, that
Whoa.
sucks.
Yeah, that's why I had to take a nap today.
Yeah, I woke
I think
up.
for 2.5 hours I slept.
I woke up at 2:30, and then I went back to sleep and woke up at 8 p.m.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Wow!
So our sleep schedules are all messed up.
Yeah.
Yep, basically.
Too much late night gaming.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
That's
what I was doing when I got home
playing
from work,
Xenoblade.
and then I just kept playing until like almost noon.
Maddie was doing something weird.
Shut up.
It was creepy.
You're creepy.
It was creepy.
I mean, I think that's true. Yeah. I don't know what Maddie was doing, so I can't say if it's creepy. Let's just not say it.
No, now people get weird ideas about me. So I was reading like Persona 5 fan fiction.
How did I know? I was actually going to give that as a joke
Damn it.
answer, but
like I was just like because the artist that I like to follow, it like, you know, ships the protagonist and
like
one of the
Frey
characters.
Noir and those people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like I was just reading because the last one's after was during like the interrogation room, and I just wanted to read some stories based on that, and so I looked some up and I was like, these writers are pretty good. Yeah, that's basically that's
Are you going to write your own?
No.
You're not going to submit any for the internet?
No.
Okay.
No.
You could edit some videos together.
I could actually. I still want to do like
Don't do it.
3. What?
And then I was like, don't write fanfiction.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna write fan fiction. I had like Persona 5 skit ideas. I just don't have the time to implement right now. What?
I'm trying really hard not to say what we said last week, like every other phrase.
Maddie.
Oh my God! Shut up!
No, you said it wrong. Stop it.
Nick, you need to get some help.
We all need to get some help.
We need to get some sleep.
I was just having fun. Okay.
Cool.
There's yeah.
Yeah, she was up really late while I was reading that thing.
Yeah, because it was just one story, and someone was writing like basically a whole nother arc of Persona 5 after the accident, with like another, you know, kind of accident. And I was like, this writer's really good, and the story seems wholly plausible.
Was there a fighting tournament and
No.
a dancing tournament as
No,
well?
basically there was it was basically
I think it was a karting tournament. Okay.
It was karting tournament.
Karting tournament.
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
no,
Persona
no.
karting. I can see
it was basically Persona 3, the syndrome that goes around. It's basically kind of something like that, where the people go unconscious and it's actually happening in the metaverse.
Whoa.
And stuff like that. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But it's
New Naruto comes out of nowhere.
no, I did read.
Naruto's out of nowhere.
No, honestly, I did read one where all of the franchises came in together. I was like, this is kind of awkward because they kept the ages right and they made Joker really wary of everyone because they were all adults and he doesn't trust adults. And I was like, this is weird. It's kind of weird. I don't think nah. This was good, but not for me.
Fan fiction is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you enjoyed yourself.
I enjoyed myself.
Good
The story's not done yet, which made me mad. But
It will never be done.
no, it will.
Ever.
I know. I like that. Well, so there was some some manga collection, and
Yeah.
they like made up their own stories, and like they ship off different characters. There's one with Futaba and stuff.
With the official.
Yeah, it was some official thing, and they're just short stories. They're not like these big epics. It's just like they go on a date or something.
That's cute.
Yeah, I wanted to get it, but people were. It's
Isn't it
only
in
in Japanese.
Japanese?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People were translating it or putting their own little, boxes
in
or
it.
whatever. Yeah.
Were they doing the typical fan subs?
Exclamation. Senpai means older.
F you, Sasuke.
You are my nakama.
Fan subs are so
Oh my God,
lame.
I'm so bad.
No, when they're like that, they're lame. When they're professional, they're good.
Yeah. Professional fan subs are pretty fantastic.
It's like, obviously, this character would not say this. Why did you translate it like that? To be edgy?
So like, never mind.
What?
What?
I was gonna insult a publisher, but I actually like them, so
Don't insult
Then don't
Yeah.
insult them. Yeah.
It's kind of like when I played Ease Origins. It was very fan subby because the character's like, "You bitch, you little shit." And it's like, okay, this character would not say this at all.
Well, you kind of answered for me. That's what I was gonna mention, but whatever.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah. No, they're fine.
But that, who did that? It's not Xseed.
Ease Origins.
Ease Origins is not Xseed.
I think it is.
It's not. To
Right.
the internet, Maddie.
Oh, okay, sorry. But so that means you've confirmed that it was Xseed that you're
No,
talking about?
Xseed's fine. I
I think Xseed's like one of the best ones.
Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at who.
Ease Origins PS4.
Got it. Got
Uh-oh.
it.
Do not
Ease Origins PS4.
go away.
Nick's not even gonna edit that out.
I'm
Nope,
not.
he's not. He's just gonna leave that in.
Talking to someone off screen.
Can it?
Nick, I'm right here. Jeez.
I'm sorry. Sorry. But yeah, it's like made by some emulator company or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
I'm seeing who's published, right?
Yeah.
2012 Xseed games published in English language localization
That's
of
the
the game.
original.
That's the PS. That's the
Oh.
PC one.
Yeah. That's the original Origins.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second.
Because the PS4 one is a different translation.
Wait, go up, Maddie.
What?
Usually the date they have two. Man, this is great podcast material. I gotta say,
I
looking
know,
up
right?
Right,
information.
you guys talk while I search this up.
Yeah. So anyway,
So how's your Switch, Taylor?
Switch is good. There's still. I was tweeting about this the other night. It may have been last night, but there's so many accessories.
Yeah, you went all out,
to-
and I'm like, why are you buying all this?
because I need to, Nick.
Do you need to?
I need to.
You actually need to.
I need to.
Oh my
Good
god,
job.
Nick destroyed his desk. Nick actually destroyed
So we're recording
his desk.
in Nick's room, and Nick's trying to get a better view of the monitor where we record all the stuff.
Oh, he
And-
broke it.
I broke it.
He broke it.
Did you really break it?
Nah, it's just a mark. There's a mark on it.
So I lost it. .emu. .emu is the publisher, by the way,
For Ease Origins.
for Ease
I
Origins.
think you already said that, but okay.
I said it when in the
weren't
parts we were
recording.
cutting out because of your.
And Nick broke his monitor.
Yep. By the way.
I did not
We
break
were
my monitor.
recording,
There's a mark on my monitor.
And he tried to turn it so he could see the recording, and then it fell.
And it fell. Yeah.
And now it's broken.
It's not
forever.
broken. We can see it. It's working.
It's broken.
Broken. Just got.
It's useless.
It's useless.
But yeah.
All right. So after that folly, should we? There's not too much news, but we'll talk about the little bits that there are. So a while back, Bandai Namco announced the .hack trilogy remaster for PS4 and PC, and they just announced this last week that it's getting a physical version, which is cool because I know. Obviously, if you're an old-time JRPG fan, or you probably want to buy it physically, and unless Amazon changes the price, the price is $50, which is like an insane deal for like 3 60-hour RPGs.
Oh,
But it also
geez.
is a remaster, so.
It is, but still, like if you've never played those games, like a lot of people probably haven't. And then I think they're adding stuff too. Like obviously it'll look better, 60 frames a second, maybe some new quality of life updates. But that
water.
was a series that completely passed me over when it was out.
I want to try it.
Yeah, I may or may not ever get to it, but it looks cool. That was like, I think we talked about this when it got announced, but that was like before the whole getting stuck in an MMO thing became popular with Sword Art Online.
Yeah.
So this is like way before that. So
It was Sword Art Online before Sword Art Online.
exactly. I think there's an anime of .hack, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, there is.
There is, okay.
What? What?
Oh no, animes based on video games. I don't know.
I know that Persona 4 anime is really bad, isn't it?
I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's god
terrible.
awful, man.
Yeah. All those Tales animes, awful. Well, except Tales of Eternia is kind of weird.
I didn't even know there was a Tale. The only one I've ever actually seen with my own eyes is the Tales of the Abyss one.
Trails of the Sky anime.
There's Trails in the Sky anime?
There is.
There is.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I heard it was really bad, actually.
It's all right, but it cuts a lot out of the story.
Okay.
And it doesn't even end.
And it doesn't end at the...
And
yeah,
I'm
it doesn't end...
assuming it never got another season, so...
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, kind of wish it did, because...
That'd be awesome.
That'd be awesome, but yeah. I heard it's, like, cool to watch, and it's like, oh, okay, fan service, but, like, it's not the best. It's no Persona 4 anime.
Got it. Okay. Cool. So, Nick, you might get around to this game if it doesn't collide with, like, Xenoblade 2 or something?
Yeah.
Cool. Maddie, any interest?
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing.
It's old and it's Taylor. That's the thing.
Well, no, and that's not the thing, because it depends on when it comes out. Because if it comes out, like, too late, then, like, Xenoblade will get in the way, and it's
Is there no release date yet?
No, it just says holiday 2017.
All right.
And if it gets released too late, then Xenoblade 2 will get trumped. Will trump that, and then it'll bleed into 2018, and then forget about it because like everything's coming out early 2018.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So I feel like that game has a very precarious window to release in, or else nobody's gonna play it.
I don't think they really care. I think they just want to release it and say, "Hey, this thing exists. You fans will buy it."
I gotta hand it to Bandai Namco, by the way. They are just like, I feel like over the last like 3 or 4 years, they've just been killing it. They're like localizing all these weird series that like shouldn't have been localized, like Project Cross Zone, and they started bringing over those Digimon games, and then they're doing the dot hack thing. Like they've been bringing over everything and like just really killing it, and then making deals. Like, I mean, let's not go down this rabbit hole too far, but Dragon Ball FighterZ, like going to Arc System, be like, hey, we got the Dragon Ball license. You want to make a fighting game? Like, they've just been doing some cool stuff. And Ni no Kuni 2, obviously, is another cool one. So, yeah, they've been killing it.
Lots of anime games, by the way.
That's their bread and butter, is the anime games, yeah.
No Tails announcement.
No,
Still sad about
I
that.
think that's a good thing, frankly. They're taking their time, hopefully, and doing the next one, making it even better.
Tales of Destiny remake.
HD
remaster.
HD remaster.
It's happening.
PSX, wait for it.
But good news on that front
Mm-hmm.
is that the fan translation patch is going good. Looks like it might be out by the end of this year. So happy.
Nice. Cool.
And I really own it, guys. You know, legally, I actually own a copy.
I know. I've seen Nick play it. He has it.
It's not. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Not emulating.
download pirate version. Yeah. So the only other piece of news is that there was a release date given for Cold Steel on PC. When is it, Nick? August 2nd?
August 2nd.
And remind the good people at home what is different about that.
50% more voice acting.
Yep.
And it obviously runs better.
And
Yes,
better.
it runs. Thank
Did
God.
Did they up the textures or anything? Like, does it
I
look
think they
nicer?
did they up the textures a little bit.
Pretty sure they
I'm
did.
secretly hoping that they added just little bits like the drama CD or something. That would be cool. Probably won't happen, but if they added that part, that'd be cool. Just extra plot points that I feel they missed over. You know?
Extra little story things.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing.
Taylor.
I love trolling you guys about Cold Steel so much.
Okay.
Can't
All right.
troll a troller, am I right?
No, you can't.
You can only troll Maddie.
Can't troll a troller.
Not fair.
Yes, slow news week. But you know, can't have a Kingdom Hearts world every week. You know what I mean?
Right?
Man, did we talk about Kingdom Hearts World?
Yes.
Last week, yeah, it was Toy Story. Yeah,
It was
We got
awesome.
into a debate about whether Tom Hanks is actually going to voice Woody and stuff.
yeah,
Tim Allen for Buzz.
They better.
yeah. I feel like the
Be
next.
amazing.
If they do, I mean, yeah, they got James Woods. I mean, why not?
I mean, they named a high school after the guy. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't go to Family Guy, please.
Yeah, I think the next big info drop will probably be TGS or PSX.
TGS is before PSX, right?
It is. It's in September.
December.
December.
I gotta say this. Everybody gets super hyped for TGS every year. TGS has not been relevant, I feel like, in a big way in like 5 years. It's like, I think the last big game that anybody cared about that got like announced during like a Sony press conference or like got revealed on the show or anything like that was Gravity Rush 2. Because I remember it was like incidentally announced. Like if you were on the show floor, they had this screen at the Sony booth, and they were just like showing a trailer. It wasn't even at their press conference. And then like 2 years later or 3 years later, they actually showed like, oh, here's the actual game. It was really weird.
Also, isn't TGS, the little press conferences, a very Japanese press
They're
conferences?
super Japanese. There's
So-
like no pomp and circumstance to it. It's like guys walking out in suits and bowing and being very polite and stuff. It's yeah. It's very much a Japanese. I mean,
And then it's Japanese focused. So like
Yeah.
all the games that are coming out are like only coming out in Japan.
yeah. Like
I wonder if they're going to like change it up now. Now that I think a bunch of companies are noticing that the Western audiences really love,
Western audience
I
care.
think the ultimate irony in with JRPG specifically is that the West, just pure numbers, buys more copies than Japan does now. Like Persona 5, I think sold better in the West than it did in Japan, just because there's so many more people. Same thing with Bravely Default. I want to say definitely with I Am Setsuna, because I went back and I was on NeoGAF. I'm obsessed with sales numbers. I don't know why, but I was looking up the Media Create sales for I Am Setsuna. Media Create is like NPD. It's like the weekly sales, and Japan has like the first digit. And I think I Am Setsuna only sold like 15,000 copies its first week in Japan, which is like pretty bad. And
those are only physical copies. They don't count for digital.
that's true, but Japan doesn't. I've come to find this out that they don't trust digital stuff, and so digital gaming is not very big in Japan. So what people will do is they'll buy like a download card or something for the game, and that's how they buy it digitally. Like they won't go to the eShop and like download it from the eShop or whatever.
They also have awesome arcades.
They do have awesome
Yeah.
arcades. I've been to a few of them. They're
You've
pretty
been watching that Sweet
awesome.
Gamers anime, Nick?
Gamers anime.
Oh, I've been watching that too, actually. It's a good one. I like how they just randomly have like Persona 4 Arena on there, like the actual
It was
game.
all
The actual game.
It was
Yeah.
all ArcSys games. There's
Yeah.
Guilty Gear, Persona 4,
Blaze Blue. Yeah.
Blaze Blue.
It's pretty funny.
In his room, the posters, there's Blaze Blue and then Fate and something, the weird name.
Yeah,
And I'm like, these are all just ArcSys fighting games.
that's pretty cool. though.
That's cool, yeah.
No, I think the funniest thing that I noticed
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
is that in the second episode, the one of the guys is getting a game, like a retro game, and it's called Paradigm of Fantasia, and it's an exact copy of Tales of Fantasia.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, that's class. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like, I was just laughing. I'm like, hey, it's Class and Arch and Mint. That's awesome.
Yeah, if you pay attention close enough in the first episode when he's in the game store, they have like very like it's almost like silhouettes of game boxes. I'm like, oh, that's Final Fantasy 15 and other games. Like if you pay attention, you can notice what they are.
That's
And
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ace Combat. It wasn't Ace Combat. It was like
Base combat.
yeah, Base Combat. That's what it was. Yeah. I love when animes do that when it's like just one letter off of the real game. It's like Star Mux or something like that.
Unless you have like a partnership with the company and you actually have the actual game.
Yeah, Japan gets weird like that. Sometimes they'll just straight up have the brand in there.
It's
I'm like, oh, it's McDonald's. Okay,
McDonald's, okay.
sure.
and they're just playing it, and it was like
The actual
it was
game.
actual gameplay.
Yeah, it was actual
Yeah, they didn't
gameplay.
animate it. Yeah, it was just the straight up gameplay.
I was just like, yeah.
Yeah, I like.
It sucks because he was playing as Yu Narukami and Yu Narukami got destroyed. I was like, no!
But he was playing as Teddy, the goat player in that
Yeah,
game.
I was like, that's his me versus Taylor right there.
yeah,
What
just me
happens.
destroying Nick. I don't think I could perfect you, but
Lol.
I like the intro. It shows like a Smash clone. It shows Smash.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Pub.
Oh, and it shows Battlegrounds!
Yeah, it's this pub.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
oh, okay, I missed that one.
I couldn't believe it.
Is this an intro? It just shows a bunch
Oh.
of like made up games, this copy games.
Oh, I usually skip the intro.
But it was like crazy because the attention to detail was completely there. Like you saw, the point of view is third person and then zoomed in and you see the character had like the backpack and the same type of helmets and stuff. I'm like, that's
Really
That's
funny.
bad. Battlegrounds.
That's actually it.
that's actually Battlegrounds. That's hilarious.
Apparently, the creator's like a big fan. So
Nice.
that's why.
That's cool. Yeah, that's always cool. I love when anime dude does that. But
Yeah.
games, am I right?
It's a anime about games.
That's true.
Yeah. And it's funny. There's a lot of game anime this season. There's season 2 of a show called New Game, and it's from this the perspective of like a game studio, like an all women's game studio. Very cutesy. My kind of show.
Taylor's
Yeah,
kinda
Taylor's
show.
kind of show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, shall we move on to what we've been playing? Unless there's any other news that we neglected to mention.
Think so.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
Nah, it wasn't a lot this week.
Shall we get our weekly Trails discussion underway?
Oh, God. Yeah.
I'm done with Trails now. So
I'm not.
It's now Maddie's
I mean,
turn
there's themes that run across this podcast. It started with Persona. I think we talked about Persona for like 3 straight months, and now it's just been Trails.
I mean, I think Persona still gets brought up almost every podcast.
Probably.
I mean, it did this one already.
I mean,
so.
for good reason.
Yeah. But, okay, yeah, playing the 3rd chapter. I'm enjoying how it's different from the other games because it's a lot of backstory, and I love me some backstory. Especially...
Some world building, right?
Yeah, a lot of world building. So much world building. Especially building between Sky 1, 2, and then Cold Steel as well. So...
Yeah, there's
cool.
some bleed over for sure.
Oh yeah, and apparently I'm at a good pace, but I haven't I don't know.
You're in the 3rd place, right?
I'm in the 3rd place. Yeah,
Oh.
I haven't seen or gotten everybody that I want to get, like characters I really really like. So I can't wait for that. So I'm playing along, getting all the little bits and pieces. So then I'll have all the story arcs to play through, and then I'll rush through that because story arcs are my thing.
So when you say get characters, like, are you collecting characters?
Kind of.
Okay.
You basically, it's a scenario where you're basically rescuing characters.
Okay.
Characters you already know, but you're just like, oh, got you. Okay, you're part of my party now.
Is it optional or is it part of the story?
It's part of the
It's part of the story.
Okay.
What's optional is doing a bunch of the backstory stuff, like getting all the little story arcs. That part's optional.
Okay. I wasn't sure if we were talking Suikoden and Chrono Cross style, where there's just like a bunch of characters you collect.
No.
Okay.
You just rescue them basically. But yeah, I'm enjoying the new dialogue, the relationships, and combat. I'm started kind of at the beginning again because that's the way they do.
They Metroid it.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, I have all these awesome quartz, and then
they destroy it.
You go to this like tree, and it just destroys all your quartz, and then you have to like rebuild
start
it.
over, and I'm like, oh,
okay.
I had such a godlike build. Okay, that's kind of annoying, but I'm working through it right now. My party is pretty cool, so I'm just like, yep, destroy everyone. Sweet.
Very cool.
Very cool.
Very cool.
For me personally, I really liked that game.
Yeah, did you?
So you will really enjoy that.
That's sweet. Okay, I'm so far very enjoying this game.
Very cool.
Very cool.
So we're gonna have to bring up our sponsors, Nerdbox.
I wish Nerdbox sponsored us, even though they're not a real company. Or are they?
No, they're not.
No, they're not.
Okay.
Taylor has not been playing any JRPGs, but tell us what you have been playing.
Been playing that Splatoon 2.
No, just Splatoon.
Splatoon, yeah.
Oh, is that really what it is? Splatoon?
No, I wish.
That's what they should have done.
Huge missed opportunity.
I know. Splatoon.
Yeah. But, I mean, everybody's kind of been saying this. It's more of the same. But there's a new mode called Salmon Run, which is essentially Horde mode. But each wave has several boss enemies that drop these things called golden eggs. And once you kill them, they drop them, you pick it up, and you have to bring them back to this little case. And like each round, you have like a quota of how many eggs you have to get back to this case. So it's like super intense. You're on this platform, just running around trying to kill as many as you can.
Is it just you, or is it co-op?
Group of 4, yeah, co-op. Yeah, group of 4, or up to 4, I should say. Sometimes people drop and it's only 3. That's the lowest I've had. I've never had to like solo it or anything like that. But yeah, just another fun way to mess around with the mechanics. There is, same old stuff. Turf War, just covering the floor with as much ink as you can. And single player, I've only beat like 1.5 of the worlds or whatever.
Hmm?
I mean, how many? You know?
I don't. I don't remember. The first game I think had like 5 or 6, but each world like progressively had more and more levels. Like the first world only has 3 levels and a boss. And the second world, I think, has like 6 levels and a boss. So I don't think it's going to expand like that. Like I don't think the last world has like 24 levels or anything like that. But yeah, no, it's fun. There's new weapons, the Splat Dualies, which are like you have a gun in each hand and you can like roll dodge, which is kind of neat.
Cool.
Which is none of the guns in the first game had that. And yeah, it kind of encourages you to try different weapons because in the single player game, like you're just given a weapon for a level. It's like, all right, you have to use this weapon for the level, and then after that, you can use whatever you want.
It's just pretty much just telling you, it's like, hey, this is how you use this weapon.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think if you've never played the game, it's a good way to like experiment with weapons because in the multiplayer you have to like unlock the weapons. You have to like buy them.
Oh, you have to buy them?
Yeah, as you level up, you get like coins and stuff through playing, and then each weapon can only be bought if you're a certain level. And then there's gear, that have different stat boosting things like you store more ink or you swim faster when you're in squid form, stuff like that. And mix of new and old maps, although the only old map I've run across is this one called Moray Towers, which is basically just 2 towers that zigzag to the bottom, and there's a big like battlefield in the middle, which is kind of a boring map, but there's some verticality, which is cool. But one of the new levels is basically a skate park, which is kind of cool. Yeah, there's like ramps everywhere and just bowls and stuff, and yeah, it's cool. There's one map in particular that's also a skate park from the first game that I hope they bring back because that was kind of my favorite map.
Any disappointments?
Okay, there was a lot of like weird system level stuff that they didn't change from the first game to the second game. There were huge complaints that everybody hated and they never fixed. And one of them is every hour or two they change the maps because the way the game works is for like 2 hours you only have 2 maps and you just go back and forth, and then every 2 hours it changes. But when it changes, it goes to like the pop star squids, and they're like, well, here are the new maps for the next 2 hours, and they like you have to sit there and watch this like animation play. And I was like, oh my god, I don't care, just tell me. And then the other thing is, once a match is over and you're waiting for the next match to start, you can't change your loadout. You literally have to leave the queue, change your loadout, and then go back into the queue, which doesn't seem like a big deal. But if you just leveled up or you want to try a different weapon, it takes it's like a good, 3-4 minutes. So it's just kind of annoying that you don't have that. Those would be my only 2 complaints. But other than that, loading time's way faster. Because I remember in the first game, you had this mini game. Like when you were loading to get into a multiplayer match, you had this little mini game where you would it was like a squid jump game. You were just jumping.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't have that because the loading's just way faster. So
also, to play with friends, you have to use an app.
Oh my god, the app. I don't have any. I haven't really shared my friend code, so I don't really have anybody to play with. But yeah, so I went to play the salmon run, the horde mode thing, and I was like, "Oh, what's this? Play with friends." And I didn't know what it was, so I was just checking it out. It's like, "Oh, you need the Nintendo Online app to use this function." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I can't party up in a game. I have to go download an app on my phone, and that's the only way you can party up." It's so stupid. And I don't care about the chat because the first game didn't have chat anyway. Like, there's no point in having chat in Splatoon. It's just like, oh, the other team's ink is over there. I'll go that way. Like, there's no reason to talk to each other, I feel like. But partying up should be in-game. They have it in Mario Kart. You don't need Mario Kart, an app for Mario Kart.
App.
Yeah, like, I don't know why it's like that in Splatoon. So, yeah. That's that game.
Big question.
Yes.
What is your next JRPG you want to play?
I can't tell you, Nick, because it could be a mystery game.
Is it going to be a mystery game?
It is.
All right.
And I will reveal the mystery game
people want
on the next episode.
Okay. Because people want you to play a game, JRPG.
I'll play a JRPG.
I'll go play JRPG.
Good.
And it'll blow your mind.
Better blow my mind. If it doesn't blow if my brains aren't behind me on my window tomorrow or next episode.
Next episode? All right.
I will be mad.
Okay.
Might blow your mind. But the real question is, Taylor,
are
you a kid?
Oh, boy.
Or are you a squid?
Maddie.
Yes.
Stop it. Get some help.
I'm both.
Okay.
All right.
I am both. Oh, the other thing, they added some new hair, which is cool. Because they
added new hair.
The last game was basically just 2 styles. It was the girls just had the long floppy hair, and then the guys had the little bun. But in this one, I think each gender has 4 different styles, which is, I like that. It just gives you more ways to, stylize your character. And by the way, okay, this is just a weird side thing, not necessarily directly related to the game. So a cool thing about the original Splatoon is it had Miiverse integration, so you could draw pictures, and every time you're in the little plaza, you would walk by different players, and you could see their creations, and even in the levels, like you'd go to the level, and there's like a billboard, and it'll have somebody's Miiverse post. So they don't have Miiverse on Switch, but they made a Miiverse specifically for Splatoon, so you can draw stuff, and it's still there. Somebody, I don't know how they did this, because there's no, stylus integration on Switch, not that I know of. but somebody like straight up drew, you know, Drew Scanlon from Giant Bomb, like the blinking white guy gif. Somebody made that as a picture. They like made a tweet, and he's like, I think it says something like Japan has the best Miiverse posts, and then it said me : and then they have the picture, but it looks exactly like him, and they're basically drawing it by hand on the Switch thing, and I'm like, I don't know how you did that.
Wait, did you find that on Twitter?
No, it was on the Miiverse in Splatoon 2.
Oh.
Yeah, somebody like drew it, and I'm like, I don't know how you draw like that without a stylus, because obviously on the Wii you could just use the stylus on the pad, but
I think you could buy a stylus, like a touchscreen stylus.
Oh,
It might work.
Still,
That's
like
pretty
it
cool.
was the quality of the drawing that blew me away. Like it almost looked like he scanned something, but he didn't. But maybe after the podcast, or
We'll find it.
So what you can do, you can go to @FobWashed on Twitter. He's a huge Giant Bomb fan, and that's his name on Splatoon as well. He's the guy that drew it, and you can just find it on his Twitter page. It looks crazy.
So
anyway, Splatoon 2.
mystery game next episode.
Yeah, mystery game next episode. Stay tuned.
And
You'll see. You'll know when you see it. Maddie's
Well,
pulling out her phone. I think that might be it. If you.
Oh, I think it is.
Good podcast material.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's crazy. It looks just like him.
Oh, it's the one where he's like,
Yeah.
What? How do they do that?
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you guys, go to FobWashed on Twitter. FobWashed on Twitter, and
it does look like he scanned something. I can't believe that.
You know what's really funny is I actually met that guy in person at a wedding once. We were like, we had a mutual friend. Oh, no, I take that back. One of my roommates in college was friends with him. He's like, oh yeah, because this was when I was writing for Blistered Thumbs and I was trying to get into the industry. And my buddy was like, oh yeah, I know this guy that works at Giant Bomb. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And I didn't listen to Giant Bomb at the time, but I went to this guy, my buddy Dave. I went to his wedding, and I exchanged some emails with Drew, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's talk at his wedding, and we talked about like BioShock Infinite and E3 and stuff like that. So that was kind of funny to look back on. But anyway,
Now he's everywhere.
He's a meme. He's got his own show, but his own travel gaming show. But
So I've continued Xenoblade Chronicles.
Nice.
oh, you continue playing it?
Yeah,
That game looked a lot better than I expected it to. I'm like, oh, it's a Wii game. There's no way they can make that kind of game, but it actually looked pretty good. I was surprised.
yeah, it looks it's really good. Really good visuals, really good music.
I wouldn't say really good visuals. I would
Okay,
say
okay, for the time,
relatively good visuals.
I'm going to say it's good visuals for the system.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Like I would say Final Fantasy Tactics or Final Fantasy 9 has good visuals
For the time.
for the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I think it rivals Skyward Sword probably for best graphics on that system.
Yeah.
Say what you will about the gameplay of Skyward Sword, but the game looks really nice.
it does.
The
Do you remember-
pastel
do you
art
remember?
style and stuff like that.
Oh, I know. I didn't play it, but yeah.
For
I've
some
seen
reason
the
I was
style.
thinking, what's the one that you played, Maddie?
Twilight
Twilight Princess.
No,
I
the dark
love-
one- the
I
dark one.
love
Not
that
the dark
game.
one. This is the bright, colorful one.
Where you get to fly around on a bird.
a board.
It's a board.
It's pretty cool, yeah. And then you actually had to like hold your Wiimote with the Pro controller, and you had to stab and parry correctly.
Oh gosh.
Like it was.
That is a stain on the gaming industry.
Hey
Those-
man,
those
I
are-
enjoyed Twilight Princess, where you just like leaning back, got my nunchuck.
I could not.
and
I,
just,
like that's one of the reasons why I didn't play Xenoblade before, because all we had was a Wiimote and a nunchuck.
Hey, what
And
you got against Wiimotes,
when
man?
I played with it, I was like, this doesn't feel right. I can't play an RPG like this. It felt weird. Now I have a Pro controller for the Wii
Wiimotes
U.
ain't even
Nice.
that bad.
But yeah, the game's really good. Like I was doing a bunch of side quests when I first started playing, but now I've continued with the story. It's been getting good. Been getting a lot of emotional stuff. It opens very emotionally. It has a very big hook.
Is it one of those things where it like starts in the future and you lead up to it, or is it like
No,
actually how? Okay.
No, it actually starts in the past and then it goes.
Okay.
But like that whole like prologue chapter
Mm.
is hits you right here, and you're like, wow, I can't believe they did that. Yeah.
Interesting.
But stupid. But yeah, the game's fun. It's the one thing. It's like it doesn't have a lot of the world map. It's hard to fast travel across the world because you have to go like through. I don't know if there is a way to do this, but I have to go through like every area, like fast travel from one side of the area to the next area, and then go to the next area. So it's like a long travel process to go through every area to get to the town I need to get to.
So you can't just go from one to the next. You have to like go through each zone.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only way I know how to do it. Tell me if there's another way, but that's the one of the gripes I have.
Another way.
Okay. Yeah, that was a time when I feel like JRPGs didn't feel the need to make fast travel, because that was a big thing in Western games, was or Western RPGs like Oblivion and whatever was out at the time, that you could just fast travel everywhere. Because I remember Ni no Kuni came out a little bit after Xenoblade. Yeah. And I was kind of like, oh, there's fast travel in this game. Because I was so used to like traditional JRPGs where like, oh, of course you'll get a airship or something and you can just go wherever you want. Because I was so used to like that formula.
Wow.
I'm hoping
airship.
I'm hoping we get some type of like faster travel, because running everywhere is so slow.
Okay.
I want to like, there's the normal trot, and I want to jog, and I want like a sprint.
There's no sprint?
Yeah, there's no sprint.
Okay.
Maybe that's in Xenoblade 2, but it's not in this one. But yeah, I like how the story's going. I want to know what's going on next. But I got distracted by Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I noticed. I walked in on you playing that. I was like, what?
Oh, because I play before Persona. I think it was Persona 5 came out. I was playing Resident Evil 4, just trying to get through it, and I stopped because Persona 5 came out. And I'm like, you know what? I want to finish this game, and that's where I'm at. I think I'm about to beat it.
You've played through 4 before, right?
Yeah, I beat 4 on the GameCube.
On GameCube, wow,
Yeah.
nice.
So
One of the good ones.
The first one, the first version of it.
So I remember trying to play Resident Evil 4 sometime this year, I feel like, on PS2, and the controls are like so of the time. Did they update them where it's like R2 pulls your gun up and R2, or L2 pulls the gun up and R2 shoots? Is it like very modern, like easy to control, or is it like all weird and Resident Evil?
I don't know how it is on PS2, but it still feels tanky.
It's tanky, but like I'm saying, like I literally think the way you shoot in the PS2 version, it's like L1 and then like square to shoot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's something like crazy like that.
Yes, it is different.
Okay.
Because it's like it's L2 to pull out your gun and L1 to pull out your knife, and then R2 to shoot.
Okay.
And then like the run, you need to press X when you're moving.
Okay. Because I remember when they ported the Resident Evil remake to PS4, they updated the controls so there's no tank. You can do traditional tank controls, or you can do modern, like with the stick, and then it's also L2 to aim, R2 to shoot, which is cool. So I appreciate that Capcom will update that stuff.
Excuse me. It's hiccuped.
You're excused.
Yep.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm gonna continue Xenoblade as soon as I want.
At some point, whatever.
Probably gonna play it tomorrow.
Speaking of Xenoblade,
oh yeah, that was a transition right there.
we had some comments in the last episode that we wanted to reply to, and that's not necessarily in a bad way, but there were quite a few comments on the last episode, so some of them we want to reply to and just keep the conversation going. So one of our biggest followers, Warlock Ozeroth, or maybe it's Oshiroth, I don't know. He said, Taylor, you're clearly on drugs for suggesting the worst Xeno game in Xenoblade X. It's the only game I've ever sold. Best Xeno games are Xenoblade on Wii, then Xenogears, and then Xenosaga 3, 1, and then 2 being the trashiest. And then Kimpy07 replies, I literally gasped full force when he said that. My girlfriend freaked out. And so let me say this. The only other Xeno game I've played is Xenogears. And although it's the same director and all that, they're totally different games. And I can appreciate what Xenogears was at the time.
But you were just thinking in like the Xenoblade, you've only played one Xenoblade, which is
I
X.
never played the Wii one, and I don't know. I mean, I feel like even Xenoblade X is its own thing, because it has nothing to do with the first one. There's literally not a Xenoblade in that game. I don't know why it's called that. This should have been called Xenomech or Xenoworld or something. I don't know why they called it that. Maybe just for brand recognition. Like, oh, it's one of those games.
Yeah.
But I like it because of the exploration and the means of traversing the world. Because I think we talked about this in the last one, but like when you're out of the mech suit or the mech thing, skells as they're called in the game, you can like jump like over buildings. Like you have this, I don't know if your characters are all superhuman or like the gravity's off or like you have like power armor that makes you jump high, but you can jump like insanely high in that game. And it's just fun because you can like, oh, let me go to that mountain. Like, oh, I can just jump on that mountain or whatever, or get close to it. And then once you get the skells, it like the game like is twice as big because you can fly anywhere.
But apparently, side quests are awful.
Yeah, side quests are bad,
but they're like required in this one. Yeah, so in Xenoblade Chronicles, they're not required really. It just makes you, it gives you more affinity points and like extra stuff. So I think that's why a lot of people did not like Xenoblade X, is because of that, because the side quests were BS. And they are BS.
Yeah, it was typical, like, go kill 10 of these things, go find 5 of these.
But did they tell you where they were? Because
no, it gave you a general area. It's like, it gives you, like, a circle within an area, and there's somewhere in that circle. I'm like, I don't know where to go. I've literally been everywhere.
Yeah, that's better than Xenoblade Chronicles, because it says, these guys are in this area, and the entire area is huge. And it's like, okay, that's cool. Or they sometimes help you and say they're in this specific area, and there's like a name given, and then like on the map there's a name like on the map, and you're like, okay, it's somewhere in that huge area. So it's kind of old school. It's kind of annoying, but you know, it's what happens. It's like kind of like first World of Warcraft, you know. It's like, go kill some boars. It's like, okay, where are the boars? Explore. Find these boars.
Yeah, I remember when they didn't tell you where everything was. And I was really young still playing that game, so I'm just like, okay, kill this knoll somewhere in Red Ridge. Where is it?
You gotta find him,
Gotta
Maddie.
find it. And then I downloaded a what are they called?
Mods or an add-on or whatever.
Add-on, yeah. And it was just like Quest Finder, and then literally like 2 months later, World of Warcraft implemented it into the game. I was like, okay.
I like how regularly World of Warcraft did that, where it was like, oh, let me download a mod for this, or like Deadly Boss mod and stuff like that. Well, they never fixed something like that, but there were like all these mods to help the game, and then they just did it natively, which was kind of fun because they knew.
They're still doing that. They're still taking certain mods and adding them to the game, which is cool.
But yeah, with Xenoblade X, I don't know. Like that was also one of those games. It was my what I like to call my Christmas break RPG that year.
Was it?
It was. It actually was. That was the game I played over Christmas break. And so, and for people who don't know what that is, literally, like usually at the end of the year, I take a big vacation between Christmas and New Year, and I just play a big RPG. Like that's all I do all day. And that was my game that year, was Xenoblade X. So it was just fun to like literally sit there and be like a total slug every day and just. So I had all the time in the world. Like I can't imagine doing that like at a normal life schedule, because it would take forever. That game's long. But yeah, and there's a nice loop to like, oh, you get gear and then you can upgrade your skills and you can try out the new gear and stuff like that. But yeah, the side quest and the progression was a little annoying. I'll say that. But yeah, for the Wii U, for what it was good. But Tokyo Mirage Sessions is probably the best.
Did you finish that?
I didn't. I really, really hope they port that game to Switch.
Do you still have it?
No.
Dang it.
I sold everything.
Yeah, because I was like, we could just play it right there on my Wii U.
Yeah, it's Persona Super Light, because it's like you take like literally you take the bare bones of Persona, and that's kind of what it is. You dungeon crawl, and then there's like, when you're not dungeon crawling, like you're all pop stars, and you like do your little side quest thing. As you build up affinity with other characters, they get stronger. But you don't like go on dates. There's no like waifus or anything like that.
No waifus.
Not in the traditional.
Because you are the waifu.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
you play. No. You play as a guy.
Oh,
You're like the waifu's best friend or whatever. But yeah, it's got a cool look to it. I like the art style's neat, and the battle system is very Persona.
You did not see that coming.
Nope, didn't see that one coming. But instead of personas, your persona are Fire Emblem characters. So that's how the Fire Emblem crossover comes in. So like the main character's persona is Chrom from Awakening.
I wonder what their first idea was with Shin Megami Tensei and Fire Emblem crossover was.
Yeah, not this.
Yeah, I don't think
sure
it was
not.
this. I wonder what it was at first.
Yeah, because I remember when they announced that game, they literally showed like SMT4 characters, and then they showed, I think, it must have been Awakening characters together at the time. That was the only big one. And then they didn't talk about it for like 4 years or whatever.
And then it became that. And I was like, this looks nothing like Fire Emblem.
Well, it was funny because everybody was so mad. Like, oh my gosh, this is... Because I think what everybody thought it was going to be all like... Maybe a strategy RPG, but have it be all dark like SMT or something like that. But it was literally like Persona 4 to the extreme, weeaboo, like pop, whatever. And then it's like, oh, also there's some Fire Emblem characters. But for me, I'm like, yes, this is perfect.
Yes.
Yeah, this is what I need.
Like, it couldn't have been more up my alley. The only thing I didn't like is there was no English voices, and I have this weird disconnect when it's only in Japanese.
But you watch anime just fine.
Anime, you're sitting there and like watching it. It's passive, but when you're like trying to invest, like be a part of the story, like it's different. Like I don't know.
I don't understand.
I don't understand.
Yeah, there's
that
a weird
one.
disconnect. Like I can't. I'm like, oh, I'm reading. I don't know. It's a weird quirk.
That's Misoma. Sweet translation errors.
Misoma. I don't know what that is.
Tales of Hearts are.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Tales of Hearts had some really bad.
Had really bad.
So
Which
I-
that's the power of like Misoma, which is like their weapon, right?
Uh-huh.
And instead he says, "That's Misoma."
Oh, they spelled it wrong or something?
The grammar is really bad.
Instead of "that's my Soma," he said "that's me
Misoma.
Oh.
There's a lot of
There's a lot of little errors like that. It's really funny just to read them.
But then you get it's like okay,
You know what they're saying.
but it's like that's really funny.
That game strikes me as a game that had a rushed translation
it was
cycle.
Definitely rush subbed.
And the first
And it was
Tales game I ever played.
And it was amazing that we actually got it because it was like, no, we're never gonna get this game.
I liked it.
But we did.
Hashtag building the list.
Yep.
Remember that?
Yep.
I mean, they're still doing that technically, I feel like, to some extent,
You know
but
what
not
they-
on Vita.
You know what
just
they,
in general.
Yeah, you know what they need to do? They need to bring over. Oh my god, it's blinked. Valkyria Chronicles 3
That would be cool.
on the PC.
Well, I really wonder what they're going to do with that franchise because they just released Valkyria Revolution. And that game's terrible. From what I haven't played it, but like the reviews were all really harsh, and I watched some gameplay. So imagine if anybody listening has played Valkyria Chronicles. Imagine like literally it's the same gameplay. Like you have people take their turns. You can only move so far, but instead of
Guns, it's
you just like walk up to guys and slash them with the sword. There's like no strategy. It's just mindless. And it's like, all right, what the heck is this? So it just takes all what made Valkyria Chronicles cool, just throws it out the window. So,
does it still have the anime quirkiness to it?
I think so. They changed the art style a little bit, which I don't really like. Everything's a little bit more pointy. Like their chins are really pointy. That's the one thing I kept noticing.
But does it still have like the drawn look to it, like first one?
No, it's very much more of like, because the original Valkyria Chronicles looks like a hand drawn like anime, but in 3D like Guilty Gear. This one is more of like kind of what Tales is doing, where it's like clearly a 3D model that has like just anime stylings. If that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like Vesperia looked like an anime. It had that like anime like Naruto style, and then they kind of slowly moved away from it. So
Made everything 3D.
Makes the gameplay and cinematics mesh really well, though.
Yep, that's why they do it.
That's really good.
Yeah. Just one more comment I wanted to read because this is kind of what I like to hear, like when we talk about something and we inspire people to either play it or try something out. So, Taysen's Gaming Spot said, "Awesome episode, guys. After all this talk about Trails in the Sky, every episode, I went ahead and bought Chapter 1. So that's cool to hear because that game is like 7-8 years old now, like in the West. So the people are Trails in the Sky 1 came out in 2010.
I thought it came out in 2012.
Maybe the only reason I say that is because I did Blistered Thumbs in 2010 or maybe 2011. I think we'll meet in the middle. I'll say 2011.
All right.
Because I remember reviewing that for Blistered Thumbs, and I don't think I was doing PSP stuff that far after the fact. But yeah, no, that's just cool to hear. Like that people will be like, oh wow, your guy. Like if somebody would say like, man, you guys talked about Grandia and Lunar, and I went back and played those games.
2011.
Like, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's just cool. Yeah, that we have all this awesome discussion that people will say because of that. I went and bought a game. Like when I did my old videos, I remember somebody tweeting me a picture like, "Oh, I just bought Valkyria Chronicles because of your video," and that's cool to hear. So that's kind of the hope, right? Like we want to show these off in a positive light and help the series grow and stuff if we can.
I want to talk about Grandia, guys. You guys need to play Grandia again.
I'm busy.
You could skip Cold Steel and you could play
No,
Grandia.
I can't. After playing... Okay, I'm sorry. No, one second.
No, I'm sorry, Maddie.
After playing so many kind of archaic games in a row, I want to go back to Cold Steel and feel that sweet gameplay that I've craved, okay? I don't think I could go back and play Grandia after third chapter.
Why not both?
It's in the same... in the same... Here, I feel like you probably could because you're in such a mode with those old style games.
And
Grandia is
not very archaic.
I feel, you know what's weird? In a weird way, I'll say this. Even though Trails in the Sky came out after Grandia, I almost feel like as far as systems and like what RPGs are capable of, I almost feel like in terms of going from like archaic to modern, I feel like Grandia is like in the middle. Because there's like the towns are bigger, I feel like. The dungeons are bigger. Like there's, I don't know. It just strikes me as more modern than Sky, even though it's not. Where would you agree? I mean, the graphics obviously are dated because it's that
super
old
dated, yeah.
PS1. Not that Trails in the Sky doesn't look like that, but I don't know. Talking in circles.
Yeah, just thinking about Grandia makes my heart flutter.
Makes his heart flutter.
Though that and Lunar, the epitome of classic.
Indeed, very.
Yep.
We need to play some obscure game. I want you to play Shadow Hearts.
What?
Exactly. I want you to play a Shadow Hearts, and I want to see like your impression of it.
My impression of it.
Yeah, it would be awesome. You'd be like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
What is this secret power?
What?
Oh, there's secret power.
Why are you like look like you're tired and falling asleep?
Because I am tired.
Man, I am falling asleep.
Not very well. No, I took a nap, but I don't know. I'm just feel like I don't know.
She's talking about Trails of Cold Steel and it's putting her to sleep.
I get that.
I will hurt you.
Maddie's just so delirious. Turn on the light if you need to.
No, the light won't turn me up.
I like the mood. I like the mood.
The mood is lovely.
The vibe.
I need to bring my candle right there.
Ooh, there you go. That would really set the tone.
I want to like kind of kill more of my this is my personal backlog. Like I want to play Ni no Kuni. I want to maybe play Nier. Maybe. There's some other things that like as a break from JRPGs like Horizon. No. I wanted to play that.
Don't play that. It's a worthless game. Don't do it.
It's amazing.
No.
Shadows of Mordor also looks fun.
Don't do that. That's actually for realsies. Do not waste.
That was a pretty overhyped game. I feel like because I bought that at launch and it was like, oh my god, the Nemesis system. I'm like, it was okay.
It's good for about 10 minutes.
The thing about Mordor is that game came out in a year when there wasn't any heavy hitters for Game of the Year. Because I remember that year it was Mordor and it was Dragon Age Inquisition were the two, and Bayonetta 2, I guess.
And didn't, what's it called? Mad Max come out that year?
Dude, Mad Max is such a like fun little game.
It was just a bunch of games that were exactly the same. It was just open world, explore, and kill things.
Yeah. No, like Mad Max was... Yeah, it was a weird thing. But Horizon's awesome. I would say competitor for my Game of the Year, so definitely give it a try. And you play as a female. I know you relate to female characters more.
And you're a female somehow. And
that's me giving Nick the middle finger.
So tired of it.
Maddie's just really tired.
Nick just endlessly trolls Maddie, and I think one day Maddie's just gonna murder Nick in his sleep, and he's just not gonna see it coming. He'll never see it coming.
Never see it coming.
Are you too fast?
I don't know. No. I didn't even mean to do that. That just sort of happened on accident.
Why is Maddie acting like he's drunk?
I don't know.
What's wrong with her?
She's had a long day.
Okay, so I had a long day, took a nap, woke up, and then we started doing this, and immediately just get hammered by Nick with a bunch of trolls, and I'm constantly getting trolled throughout this podcast, and then I say, I want to play Shadows of Mordor, and both of you immediately shut me down.
I told you Horizon's awesome. You said you want to play Horizon. I'm helping you prioritize. Of the games you just named, I would say put Ni no Kuni and Horizon at the top of that list. Those are the better of those games. But
Okay.
if you feel like you have to go do it, I mean, who cares what we have to say? Play what you want to play.
Play some
But
Horizon.
I'm just, for my personal recommendation of what you might enjoy, because I know you prioritize story. I think definitely the story of Horizon and Ni no Kuni is way better than Mordor, because that Mordor is all about like you make up your own story, like by creating your own bosses and stuff like that, which I guess is neat. But like if you want like a more crafted, like those two games do it the best, I feel like.
I only say that because I've been craving that RPG where you explore the world and craft things and do
That's
things
Horizon.
like that.
That's
But I
Horizon.
also played a bit of Shadow of Mordor at my older brother's house, and it made me interested in it. So I wasn't walking into it blind. I actually had the gameplay, and I was like, this is kind of cool.
When did Brian have that game?
Yeah, that's really weird. That
He has
Brian
it
won't play
on
that.
Steam. Brian has a million Steam games. He just doesn't play them all.
Yeah, that's so funny.
Every single time there's a sale, he'll buy a game, regardless.
It's like, why? Why would you do that, Brian? Why?
I don't know. Why do you buy collector's editions that are unopened?
But they are opened. All those are opened.
Oh, yeah?
Did this guy have 5 ones not open?
Well, those not opened.
I don't know. That's probably it.
Yeah.
Well,
I know. Well, this isn't a collector's edition, but I think Sophie's not. You haven't played it, but I think you bought it used or something.
No, I bought it new.
You did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's dirty.
It is dirty because it's one of those GameStop new games. You know, GameStop new, quote unquote. Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked there, so I knew it wasn't used. I just didn't care about wrapping
Okay,
it
here's
up.
another one. Odin Sphere Leftreise.
Oh yeah, that.
Not open.
Not open. And Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts is.
That's
not
another
open.
game I kind of wanted to play.
Kingdom Hearts is cool.
Yeah, you should try it.
Probably should play it closer to Kingdom Hearts 3, huh?
So, in a year and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 1 is pretty janky.
I
I play janky games, though.
I know, but this is like the
very
the
janky?
jumping is kind of janky.
Yeah, that game is very platform heavy in a weird way.
But the second one fixes that.
Yeah, the second one is by far the best. In terms of gameplay and world selection, I think it's the best. Because if you want to catch up for 3, let me just say this. I feel like you only need to play 4 of all those games. You don't need to play every single one.
To play Kingdom
To
Hearts
play
3, you need to play
only-
Kingdom Hearts 4.
4.
No, because you got to play 1, obviously. You play 1 and 2. Those are essential.
And Birth by Sleep.
And I feel like those are the 3 essential ones. But the Chain of Memories, like 2 is gonna be really confusing. Because we never got Chain of Memories in America until the HD collections, and you play like as a different character for the first 5 hours. I'm like, what is happening?
Good thing we have it in that collection.
But yeah, Chain of Memories kind of is that in between, and it explains it. And then other
and
people,
apparently he's like a big character in like the 3rd, because in the trailer he's like, "You want to bring him back, Roxas back?" And
yeah,
he's like,
that
"What?"
was surprising. But I guess also if you really, really want to get that extra little something, play that 0.2 with Aqua.
Oh, 2.8, yeah.
Yeah, that thing I guess is a nice lead in, but that's like pretty short, I guess.
Yeah. Which one does it? What did it come with? It came with.
It came with that. It came with Dream Drop Distance, and then it came with one of the games in movie form. It was just a big giant cutscene. Yeah,
I think everyone
mind.
came with one of those though, didn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
That's pretty
It
cool.
was
So
really
if you don't want to play the game, you just watch the giant
Yeah.
cutscene? Really? That's awesome.
Some of them are there is no game. I think some of them were like unplayable. Like one was like a phone game in Japan only or something weird.
And then and then the ones before are like DS games.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
just, like,
So it'd be like
unplayable.
impossible to play on PS4. So,
Interesting.
There's so
but
many.
no, all good games for you to play.
Brad will tell you to play Kingdom Hearts because he loves Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, okay.
Kingdom Hearts just reminds me of 8th grade, 8th and 7th grade.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, it's because I remember playing it during those times. It was in the
That
garage.
was literally when I was in 8th grade.
It was in the garage when our garage was awesome.
Yeah.
And
Garage is
and
awesome,
we
meaning you
played.
just had a TV. And
It was a man cave. That's what it was.
Yeah, no, there was a couch.
There's a couch. There's a couch bed.
a real couch, not like a. We used to have this inflatable thing in there that kept popping or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That I remember when I bought that. But it didn't turn out so well. But no, it was a real couch. It had a SD TV because there was no HD TVs back then. Yeah. We played Karaoke Revolution in there.
Karaoke Revolution.
Disgaea, a bunch of PS2 games, DDR. Oh, it was.
I have fond memories of watching you and Travis play Metal Gear Solid in there.
Oh yeah, we played Metal Gear Solid in there, and I remember we were playing, and we had like pizza boxes everywhere, and he fell asleep on the ground.
Fell asleep on the pizza box.
Yeah.
And wake up with a pepperoni on my face. No.
And then we played. We played RPG Maker 2 in there.
Dude, RPG Maker
in there. All the time.
I think that FES thing on 3DS came out recently.
Or here?
For the RPG Maker, yeah.
I want to play that. I really want it.
That'd be kind of fun to play around with.
I would love to do a RPG Maker stream and have like a bunch of people just like watch it with us and build the game with us.
That'd be neat.
We'll just make like an hour-long RPG.
See, the problem with RPG Maker for us is that we'd get like really into it for like a few weeks to like a month, and then it's like, yeah, this is too hard, I'm done. And we just never finished
So what would happen is that we will make like extravagant intros that were like so awesome, and then we're like, oh, we actually have to make the game part now.
Yeah. Well, we got people hooked, and then the game loop was just like, I don't know.
I don't know if we told this story on Giant Sword podcast, but the RPG Maker 2 RPG that we were working on.
Didn't the drive get corrupted or something?
No, that was my RPG Maker 3 one.
3 was the worst.
Yeah,
I didn't like 3 at all. It was
weird. But I made a really awesome RPG that got corrupted.
On 3 or 2?
On 3. No, we made the one where it was a hike, and during the hike, we found out that you could raise the water level, and we were like, we're going to make the place flood.
Yeah, and I remember that. Yeah, there's like this little path, and you go up to this mountain, and then you go up to the mountain. There's like this cave on this mountain, and then as you're just sitting on the cave, it starts raining and it floods, and then you have this like conversation in this cave over a fire, and then I think that's the farthest we got. Maybe you go back to town.
I don't even think we made it town. I think we just made that. We spent like an entire night trying to get that to work.
Very vividly remember that.
And when we got it to work, we were like, "This is amazing."
Yeah, that game had a really weird art style. I remember it looking like South Park for some reason. Like they were just like these weird, like chunky, blobby character models.
Kind of looks like 3D Dot Heroes, except not Dot Heroes. It was like they're like
if you rounded them out.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a better way to put it, maybe. Yeah.
Good memories, right? Had really good music.
I kept saying, I'm like, I don't know why. I mean, there's a bajillion of them on PC. They should put something closer to 2 on like a PS4 or something like that. That'd be so awesome to be able to design.
And then they'll be able to sell updates and like character packs and all that.
Oh my gosh.
It's a money making. You make money.
Yep, for sure.
I don't really have fond memories of RPG Maker, so I'm just listening to you guys.
Original RPG Maker. I was 5th grade.
I remember that blew my mind when they released it. I'm like, no way we get to make our own RPG.
I know. When we were playing it in like the den or the back room, which was like the front room back then, and we were playing it, and I remember we had whenever you moved the cursor, it was just like, and then Dad came in and was like, "What the heck is that noise?"
Yeah, that was really annoying. Because I remember you or me and your brother Brian. We made an RPG, and he would design it. He got all fancy because there was like 2 different colored water. So I remember we made this town. It was like on like a river, and so we made this bridge, and then he would put like the different colored water into the bridge to make it look like a shadow and stuff like that. Like which was
that would be so Brian.
He got really into that.
He had to design it like perfectly.
Yeah,
like, everything. Yeah. Wasn't it like you were like an apprentice wizard or something like that?
Sounds about right. Yeah, there were so many that we made and never finished.
No, so good.
I remember me and Dallas, Connor's older brother.
Yeah.
For people listening who don't know who Dallas is, we made one, and I believe the goal was to get tickets to a Metallica concert. And and it's funny how you play or you're designing stuff, and then you slowly figure out like, because I remember like, for example, there was like two NPCs that were looking at each other having a conversation. I'm like, how do I make it so it looks like they're having a conversation when I go talk to them? And so I would talk to like one person and they say something, you talk to the other and they say something else, but then you can figure out like, oh, if you just walk up to one and then you change the dialogue boxes, you can make it look like a conversation and stuff like that. So it's just funny how you find little tricks to make the game do what you want once you've messed around with it enough.
I want to load this up and show Maddie what we were working with, and she's gonna be like, "Wow, this is so primitive." I remember I was addicted to mechs back then, and I remember one of my abilities was a PPC, and it was just a blue ball going pew, 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 and explode, and I was like, "Yes."
The one thing I did hate about those old RPG makers was the combat system was really bad. It was
the combat system was Dragon Quest.
Yeah, it was straight up Dragon Quest, like the first person Dragon Quest, where you just see the enemies and they just jiggle.
Dun, da, 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 da.
Yeah, on PC you can like program your own. Like I remember people making like side views systems and stuff.
People were making like action RPGs.
That's crazy.
And someone made the Tales of.
That's right. I remember I saw that. Yeah, somebody.
But
made
that requires a lot of code, and
we don't know how to do that.
Yeah, it's intense stuff. RPG Maker was great. So many memories.
Did you guys listen and ever play some RPG Maker? Tell us about your RPG Maker exploits.
I just find it funny that I went to people's houses all the time, and we would just spend one day making an RPG and just making it stupid. But it was just like the entire day when I was over at this guy's house, mostly at Connor's, would make a dumb RPG and would just laugh at it. I remember one of them was just like called Lucy's Adventure.
Yeah.
And Lucy was his cat, and during that time, his cat she was missing, so we just made an RPG, and the whole time is your main character was a cat because there was a cat sprite. And you would go into you're like in this like crystal palace, and you get to the top where this like pixie dust guy thing happens, and you fight this character, and then it's like, oh, thank goodness, it was all a dream, and then it would go, or maybe not, and then it would just repeat itself.
That's right. It was just a looping.
It was never end. You would just keep looping doing that thing. We just thought it was the funniest thing in the world. And the other one was just an intro where the character was walking in town. And it would get in front of this house, and suddenly there's a huge explosion, which was just a flashing white light with an explosion sound, and the entire town was on fire after that. And then there was a guy going, "I just wanted to make pizza."
Yeah, I remember that one.
And I think that was a Mega Man Legends 2 quote that we just took.
Oh wow!
And yeah, we thought that was the funniest thing. Man, making things that turned into like Game Maker stuff for me, because I used to make Game Maker. Or I used to use Game Maker.
Yeah.
And I remember on one of these nights I had Travis over, and we made a game in one night. It was just you were just a Mario sprite jumping on, or what you're some character, and the enemies are like Mario heads. Oh my gosh! Now it's really dark because the monitor turned out.
I was like, oh my god, the power went out.
And Mario heads. It was stupid. And you go through it, and then the final boss was just a giant picture of Boba Fett. And it was like Fooly Cooly music.
Wow.
And it was like, "You dare disturb me." And then if you waited too long, it would just a big beam would just kill you instantly, and you go, "Your head explode."
Wow.
And then the way to beat him is you just run into him, and he just goes, "Wee," and then flies into the sky. And that's how it ended.
Okay. Weird.
We did weird stuff, Andy. Good times.
Well, I think that's probably a good place to end this episode.
We made things back in the day. I wish I had that.
I know, right?
I wish I had that stuff still. I'm pretty sure we have our old RPGs somewhere.
Some memory card somewhere. Yeah.
Good
I don't know.
We got to show Maddie. We're going to do that right now.
She clearly doesn't care.
She wants to go to bed.
Wants to go to bed. Psh, it's only 11.
I know, it's only 11. All right, guys. Thanks for listening to us ramble about a lot of stuff again, which is usually what we do. Be sure to comment and like and subscribe if you haven't yet. On iTunes, be sure to give us a review. Helps us out. We're also on Google Play now, so if you have an Android phone, you can listen to us on there. And if you have any, requests or anything to help us out with improving our podcast, be sure to tell us. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
My monitor's broken.
Yeah, it sucks.